Ladies and gentlemen, imagine starting this March you will not be able to buy or sell if you are not registered in the eTIMS system. I know what you're thinking, the mark of the beast. Calm down, my friend, calm down, calm down. Especially if you are in any business or intend to get into business. In fact, let me put it in the right way. Every adult will be required by law to sign up to the eTIMS system. Anyway, I have been doing some business for a while now and received payments, but this time something else happened that forced me to get into the tax collector's way of doing things going forward, especially after two events happened. The company that I was supplying said they won't pay me anymore unless my invoice is generated from the eTIMS system. And number two, a very close friend can no longer, like literally, withdraw from any of their banks or transact with any financial institution anywhere in Kenya simply because his accounts are now frozen for alleged tax non-compliance. Kumbe, it is now serious. So what is this new animal out here ready to invade your privacy and disrupt your normalcy? In this video, using the simplest terms possible, I'm going to try and explain to you what this eTIMS system is all about, how it works, how to access it, how to register for eTIMS, and how to generate an invoice to get or receive payments. I also will point out a few inside information here and there on what to expect going forward. Now, let me put a disclaimer at this point that this is not supposed or meant to spread any fear, but to have you informed and get prepared for what seems to become the new normal going forward. The sooner you adjust, by the way, the better it is for you to move on. My name is Brian. I do personal, financial, and investment consultation, and you can always feel free to get in touch with me through the links below. And also, if it is your first time here, please consider subscribing for more free financial planning content. So let's get started. What is this eTIMS or eTIMS? eTIMS stands for Electronic Tax Invoice Management System. I don't think that is very wordy, and it's simply an online system by KRA that ensures that every transaction of buying or selling, or put it differently, paying or getting paid for goods or services, is recorded and noted by KRA for purposes of accurate tax returns or tax payments. Remember that such a transaction to one party is an expense, and to the other party it is an income. So for the side that it is an income, they need to declare the tax for the same, and the other side has to declare it as an expense to determine the tax that they're supposed to pay as well. So many people have been receiving payments, making payments without getting taxed. And this is because there was no way to prove that there was a transaction involved. And this has been going on in a big way, especially for majority of those traders at the bottom of the pyramid. Unacheki wale wa bottom up, wengi wao. And when it gets to declaring tax returns, people have always cooked figures to avoid paying the correct amount of tax that is due. But now what this means in short terms is that there are going to be receipts to confirm every transaction of payment or getting paid. So now hakuna cooking figures kiraisi raisi anymore. And now to the next point, how does it work? The eTIMS system is not that complicated, by the way, as we might think. Both the seller and the buyer first have to be both registered to start with. And whatever the transaction it is that you're getting involved in needs to be updated by generating an invoice or a tax invoice straight from the system, which can easily be accessed. If you have internet, you're good. If you don't have internet as well, you're also good. And all that you need to know is the PIN number of the person supposed to pay you. I will tell you more about how to generate an invoice shortly, but basically when filing returns, you won't declare any business expense if there is no evidence of the same in this system. And all the income is already captured So all you need to do is to account for it and how you spent it in order to determine how much tax that you're going to pay for that particular year or month. It's actually going to be almost impossible to declare anything that you don't have a receipt for. And in this case, sorry, but your handwritten, those ones that you create or nicely cooked ones, will not save you this time round unless it has an actual tax invoice or receipt number from the eTIMS. So how do you access this system? There are two ways to access eTIMS, and that's online on the KRA website, and the second way is through a USSD code. Hizi ni zile una dial kwa simu, which is *222#, an eCitizen code by the way. Ndio ujue ni kubaya, there is no excuse that you do not have internet or an internet enabled gadget, or you don't have internet itself, or you don't have bundles, because you can run this on a USSD code. The easiest way, by the way, to find it online is through searching for eTIMS on Google through any browser of your choice, and then you get it. Or if you have the exact URL address, I think I will share it on the comment section below. But otherwise, *222# is much easier for me, and I think you can also be using that. And how do you register for eTIMS? Well, registering for eTIMS is not that complicated. It is as easy, especially if you already have a KRA PIN number. So what you need to do, you need to go to the link below, and the form there, you just fill a few details, or you can just dial *222# and then select option number 5, which is the KRA option. You'll be prompted to input some basic information like your ID and KRA PIN, and in a short while, you will receive a confirmation message that your registration is successful. It is not very complicated. And finally, how do you generate an invoice to get or receive your payment? So in order for you to receive payment for any service or products, you have to first of all generate an eTIMS invoice, which can only be generated through the eTIMS system. This is what the payer will use in making the payment or paying you for your service or your delivery. Now, if for example you are an eggs delivery person, this is what you're going to do through the USSD code. So generating an invoice is not that complex, by the way, as long as you know the amount that you're supposed to be paid or receive, and you know the payer's PIN number, that person's PIN number. So whether it is an individual or a company, just go ahead and dial *222# and select the KRA option, which is number 5. The next thing that you're going to do is select the invoice option, as you can see on that example. Next, indicate the name or the PIN number of the payer or the person paying you, the one that is receiving the goods or service. With this one, I tried the name only, but it didn't seem to work until you input the PIN of that person or that company. Then, input the details of what you are offering them for the payment, and in this case or our example, it's 10 crates of eggs. Then next, enter the price per item. It will auto-populate the total, and upon entering that 98 to view more, it will show you the option to confirm the details before you submit for invoice creation. Remember, you can always go back if you've done an error to correct or make changes to any information that you didn't input correctly. Otherwise, if all is well, you can confirm at this point and submit, and as soon as you do, you will receive a message from eCitizen with the tax invoice number. The message will also have a link to where you can actually go and see the actual invoice online for purposes of either printing or sending it to the person or company that is supposed to pay you. Of course, there are more tutorials on the KRA website and their YouTube channel. I noticed that for you to be able to learn more. And please remember to always confirm and verify whatever you need to do in order for you to be on the right side of the law while you are doing this. It is going to be impossible to evade tax going forward. But again, Paying tax is what will make things better for us, perhaps. I just hope they get to utilize it correctly and they do not misuse our money so that it does not be all in vain. So, is it going to be worth it? You can let me know about that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.